2414 is a podcast about finding hope and common ground through casual conversation. Like the friends on the road in the New Testament, in Luke chapter 24, verse 14, we want to walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. Thanks for walking with us.
Well, hello, welcome to 2414. My name's Dan Weber. I'm sitting next to my co-host. Are you a co-host, Shane? We don't have titles, do we?
No.
Just us, but
today
I'll call you co-host.
The guy over there.
Next to my co-host, Shane, my co-worker, Brenda, and our special guest today, Mahfuza. And you'll hear William in the background. Hey, William. Hey, buddy. Today we're going to be talking about this theme of International Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving as a meal, as an American holiday, Thanksgiving as a topic of gratitude, and we'll talk about some food things as well. But to get us going, we'll jump in with highs and lows, and the question of the day is, what is something you're looking forward to? It could be this week, could be this month, could be this decade. Something that's kind of on your radar that's out there that's, I'm looking forward to that. So low and a high and something you're looking forward to. Shane?
I was going to make you start.
Okay. Shane, can I go first is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's not what I was going to say. All right. In my life, a low. I think the day's getting darker. That's just reality around here in the fall and the winter, but I've been feeling it in the mornings where I get my cup of coffee in the morning and I read in the front room and I raise the blinds, but it's just dark right now. Like I'm finished. My cup of coffee's over before I actually see anything. And there's beautiful trees out there that are changing colors, but I don't see them right now. So that's my lows. It's really dark, especially in the mornings.
So you mean literally dark?
The days are getting shorter. I think 3 minutes a day in the month of October we lose of daylight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we lose 3 minutes every single day.
I was going to say every single
day.
Minutes less.
Yeah, so October 1 to October 31st is 90 minutes of less daylight.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's significant. So depending on where you're listening from, it might be a little bit different. So that's my low. It's dark. High. This is kind of like a low, but as well. But I've got to visit a couple friends in the hospital recently, and so I'm sad that they're in the hospital. But it's just been really beautiful to do real life together, even though it's a tough situation for them. It's something really beautiful about being there with somebody, and just having that level of friendship that's beyond how is the weather or how are the kids, but I can hold your hand when you've got tubes coming out of your nose, and we can cry together and laugh together, and so that's a weird high, but that's kind of my high right now. And something I'm looking forward to. One small thing right now is looking forward to Mahfuza trying candy corn live on the air for her first experience, but that's a little bit petty. I'm looking forward to going for a run this weekend, having some time to go run in the leaves and the cool air. It might be wet and cold too, but I haven't had a good long run for a while, so I'm looking forward to running this weekend. So Shane, we'll go to you. Lows, highs. What's something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, well, I guess start with lows. Why not? Lows. There's just a lot going on, there's a lot going on here, and especially in the next 3 weeks, there'll be a lot going on with
the podcast.
Wait, what
do you mean here?
Sorry. All right. Here at St. Luke's. So next 3 Sundays are going to be big kind of Sundays around here. A lot with Reformation Sunday this Sunday. It's just a church holiday. After that, we have All Saints Day. And in between that, we have Fall Show. Music Man shows are, I don't have the dates. Visit our website.
November 4th and 5th.
Yeah, something, like that. And then,
next weekend.
And then the Sunday after that, there's an installation service, new pastor. So, and then all within that, a lot of shows. So it's busy, and we'll make it through. But highs, had a great kind of mini vacation time off. Went to uncle-in-law. Lauren, my wife, her uncle got married in Priest Lake, Idaho.
Ooh, yeah.
So we had fun driving there. We picked up Lauren's parents in Spokane and sister, and we just spent the weekend together. It was great. Got to see a lot of family. So it was just really, really nice. And then just dropped her parents off yesterday at the airport. So it was just really nice spending time with them, spending time with family, seeing them again. Yeah. It was just, it was just really nice, just kind of little break in that. And for something I'm looking forward to, might sound, I don't know, cheesy or pathetic or something.
There's no wrong answer.
It's fine.
This is a safe place.
Something I'm looking forward to is just rest.
Yeah. Like a nap today?
No, well, just it feels like just been going since Easter. So once after these next 3 Sundays, wrap up and the musical wrap up, which I'm all things I'm looking forward to. It's just a lot of work, putting all these things together. Once that's all said and done, I just get to go into a normal routine again of work and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to just that kind of rest.
See, this is a good example of this is a safe space, because normally, Shane, I would tell you, Mahfuza here has a 4-month-old.
I know.
And a toddler. You're not allowed to be tired. But you are allowed to be tired. That's real life. Yeah. But at the same time, you're not allowed to be tired.
I get it.
Mahfuza's allowed to be tired.
Okay. I'm very tired.
You were just telling me how long before your daughter slept through the night regularly?
Yeah, 4 years. It took 4 years. Still getting up at least once.
Oh.
So that's
5 years old now.
That's real life. Yeah.
It's 5 years of little sleep.
Yeah.
And with none on the horizon with the little guy here.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's okay.
It's amazing what your body can do. Yeah. All right, Brenda, lows, highs, what are you looking forward to?
I would say a high recently is I got some good time with friends. I got to spend the night at a friend's house. We watched the new Hocus Pocus movie, and
do you like scary movies, or is it not scary?
I like scary movies. I would not call Hocus Pocus 2 a scary movie.
Okay.
It's a Disney movie. But it's a remake, so that was fun. I was really looking forward to seeing it, but I don't have a Disney Plus account, and she does, so she shared it. So we got to hang out, and then got to hang out with a different friend the next day, and got to eat, got to work out together, so that was all really good. A low, I would say that even though I'm getting regular amounts of sleep, like if I'm tracking it, I'm getting 7 to 8 hours, and I still feel tired. And on the weekends, I will crash on the couch for 2-3 hours and then still wake up tired. So that's kind of a low. Something I'm looking forward to, though, I'm going to go to Wisconsin for Thanksgiving. So that's not too far away. That's just a few weeks away, and it'll only be a few days, but I'll get to spend time with my husband's family, and every time I go, it seems like there's a new niece or nephew. So the house is just full of babies, of toddlers. They're all 6 and under, and there's 6 kids maybe now between all of his sisters. So lots of kids, and I get to hang out with them. The guys all go out hunting during the day, and then I get to hang out with Adam's mom and some of the sisters and just babysit. And it's nice. It is fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
Have you done Thanksgiving with that side of the family yet?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Yeah. I've been going since the very first year that Adam and I met and started dating. So that was 2017. I've been going every November since then. Yeah. Yeah. And every single year there's a new baby in the house. So it's just getting louder and louder. Yeah. Yeah. But it's fun.
Cool.
So looking forward to that.
Awesome. Yeah. And Mahfuza's our gift today. Hi.
Hi.
So glad you're here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. When you asked me to join you guys, that was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you probably I probably didn't give you a full picture, like, what is it like? But I'm so glad that you said, yeah, sure, I'll be on your podcast.
So
I didn't know it was an hour long.
Oh, well, we'll see how long. We'll see how long. Yeah. Among other things, Mahfuza's a mom of one of our preschool students.
Yeah.
And so we got to bump into her regularly before and after school, and we're talking about International Thanksgiving. We thought, Mahfuza would be a great voice. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Any lows and highs or anything you're looking forward to?
speaking about running,
Yeah.
I didn't know you run.
Well, we could talk about running a lot if you want.
Yeah, so I'll start like a long story. Last year, in January, I told myself like a New Year resolution, I'll start running every day a mile at least. So I did. Before that, I would run too, right? It's not just, I'm not new into running. So I started running at least a mile through the snow, through the smoke.
Wow.
It was going well until I got to August. I went back home to Tajikistan. I'm from Tajikistan, by the way. So,
Tajikistan.
and then I ran in the airport. I needed a mile, right? And I also ran when I landed. I told my dad to pull over, and it was on top of a mountain pass, which is quite high. Tajikistan is about 93% mountains.
Oh my!
Okay.
Wow.
They're very tall mountains. I wasn't thinking. I gotta get a mile. 10 minutes. That's all I need.
Wow.
Anyways, I ended up hurting myself, right? That's where it goes. In Dubai airport, running with a backpack. So
People
I
just
have this
looking at
hip
you
flexor issue.
Yeah.
And then pregnancy, never really recovered. And then now after I gave birth, I start running again. I was doing short runs, like 2 miles, 3 miles, and it was fine. I didn't notice the pain. And I slowly gaining more miles. And Monday I ran 6 miles in Point Defiance Park.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
With a stroller, pushing it, and then I came home with a sore hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna stop running now to make sure it fully recovers.
Yeah.
Trying to get into a doctor, physical therapy, and all that.
Yeah. So,
right when I thought I'm getting back, right?
Yeah, that's discouraging. Shane, I just want to point out the mother with the 4-month-old ran 6 miles pushing a stroller, and what was your low again? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you're tired. I forgot. No, we're good. So running injury, kind of recurring inconvenience, pain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal because with a baby, I don't want to go to the health club and expose him to all kinds of germs.
Yeah.
So that was one thing I could do, to stay healthy. Well, I guess I could go running. Anyways, that's the law.
That's a low. What about any high? Anything celebrating?
Oh, lots of highs to begin with, but the one I can think of is him sleeping better through the night, at least twice. Thank you, Miss Brenda.
So Brenda's going to try to, if you're not watching just our audio right here, Brenda Segovia is stepping in to
rock the baby. Thank you.
And she's going to sing and hold.
Twinkle,
and,
twinkle. He
yeah.
likes sing off mic.
Yeah, we can mute Brenda's mic and she sings Twinkle, Twinkle to little William. Yeah. So you said lots of highs, Mahfuza.
Yeah. So one was him sleeping better instead of getting up 5-6 times a night, twice only. So
twice
far,
a night.
constantly, consistently for 2 weeks. So hopefully that stays. Do you want more highs?
You got another one? What's another one that pops into mind?
Oh yeah, another one. With feeding baby breast milk, whatnot, I saved up a lot of breast milk since June, and then I finally got cleared to donate them to the Mother's Bank. Mother's
beautiful.
Milk Bank.
I never heard of that.
I have to drop it off soon.
I'm curious how that works. I've heard of that, and I know sometimes I see posts of moms that just can't produce, and so they ask for help, and that's such a... I don't have children yet, so that's such a cool, interesting thing that there's that sharing. How does that work?
I Googled it. So it's there's a bank, Pacific Northwest Mother's Milk Bank, and it's based in Tigard, Portland area.
Oregon. Tigard. Yeah, just outside Portland.
But they have drop off all over the place in Washington State and California. So in the only Pacific Northwest, right? But to donate milk, I had to give blood so they could check me for all kinds of things. and interview. They also ask you about caffeine intake, alcohol intake, all kinds of stuff. So you have to get cleared for that.
Okay.
So yeah, it took about a month with all the interviews and the blood test and all that.
Okay.
What an intimate and loving way to share
Yeah.
and to serve somebody else.
Yeah, because the fridge is full now. I don't want to just throw it away. You know,
No, I've heard it's like liquid gold. You can't just throw it away. So
Yeah.
That's great.
awesome.
So Mahfuza, what's something you're looking forward to?
This weekend we're going to Soldak Hot Springs. It's in Olympic National Parks. We haven't been there, so don't ask me. I don't know, but it sounds like it might help my hip.
Okay, yeah.
The
Go-
hot spring might.
go relax in the hot
my
springs.
And
That
we
sounds
planned this
wonderful.
in summer, but yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't know the Olympic National had a hot spring.
Yeah.
That's so
I don't think I
cool.
did either.
Soldak,
Yeah.
SOLDUC, Soldak Hot Springs, and they have cabins you can reserve, and you can use the hot springs for free if you're staying there, or you can just go use their hot spring, but you have to pay. And I heard staying there or paying for hot spring might be the same price.
Okay.
So
May as well stay.
you
Yeah,
might as
might
well
as well.
get a little cabin in there. Yeah.
You'll have to tell us how it is because I
Oh,
might want to go
yeah.
check that out. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you Monday. They have
Okay.
like different. They have a nice pool. It's not
Okay.
like don't go into the dirty,
Okay.
dirt, whatever. It's a nice pool, but they are natural.
Okay.
Different temperatures are like 3. I don't 3, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
Awesome.
lovely.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Well, Mahfuza, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. Brenda, it's great to see you today. Shane, I haven't seen you forever, it feels like.
I know.
Hey.
Hey.
So we're talking about International Thanksgiving. It's an event that we're going to have here at St. Luke's. Brenda, you want to give us quick details if you have that in front of you? When?
Yes. We are going to have an International Thanksgiving in the great room of our church here at St. Luke's. It's going to be Friday, November 18th from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. So it's really a chance to celebrate the diversity that we have in this community and our church and school and childcare and share food, which I think is so fun. I want to eat all of the foods that people are going to bring. So people can bring a dish that maybe they like to have during Thanksgiving. It can be turkey and mashed potatoes. Maybe you have a specific recipe for a green bean casserole, or it could be spring rolls. It can be whatever it is that your family eats during Thanksgiving, or just a food that you really like that you might want to share with other people. So we're going to have a bunch of tables set up in that room and have people just talking to each other and sharing food.
So the Friday before Thanksgiving?
The
is that
Friday
right?
before Thanksgiving.
5:30 to
5:30 to 7 o'clock.
5:30 to 7. Bring a dish that maybe is something you eat at Thanksgiving, or maybe if you have just a dish that speaks to your family or your culture, or maybe even your grandparents' culture. Like I come from a German background. I don't care for German potato salad, but that might be an occasion where you bring this hot German potato salad that's not a Thanksgiving food, but it's sort of, this is from my people, so to speak. So that's an event just to celebrate the variety of peoples and backgrounds and nationalities and cuisine that we have in our community and school. And so that's the Friday before Thanksgiving, November 18th, 5:30 to 7. And today in our show, this episode, we just want to talk about Thanksgiving as a holiday, Thanksgiving as an expression of gratitude, some different food that goes with it, perhaps. So, Mahfuza, when Brenda invited you to be a part of this, I seem to remember her relaying to me something like, you didn't have Thanksgiving as a holiday when you were growing up.
I agreed. I'm like, yes. And then, you want to talk about your growing up Thanksgiving? I'm like, no. Do you still want me?
And yes.
Yeah.
Can you say the name of the country where you're from again?
I
forgot.
Tajikistan. You know the bunch of Istans, they're all together in there. Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan on top.
Tajikistan.
Afghanistan. So
Okay.
it's north of Afghanistan.
Okay.
It's the former Soviet Union. So I speak Persian. It was a leftover of Persian Empire. Yeah. So we speak Persian in there. We call it Tajik dialect.
Yeah.
And then Russian. Russian is a second language.
Wow.
Yeah.
As a country or for you as well, do you speak both of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As a country and
And English.
English, for me it's
Did
a
you
third
learn that
language,
there or
but
learn that here?
we don't necessarily, we have English classes, just like you take Spanish here and don't necessarily get fluent in Spanish. It's like that. But I did study English very intensively on my own after I learned about the exchange program. So I would say yes and no, but we do have English classes like from the first grade, second grade. Yeah.
Okay.
But you now speak then 3 languages.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
very impressive.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
English was easy to learn.
Okay.
It's very standard, like A plus B equals C. It's like noun comes first, then the verb, adjective, and the noun. That kind of. It falls into a formula.
And would you say Persian does not?
No, Russian, Persian, they don't.
Okay.
Yeah. You can start with a verb or you can start with an adjective. And depending on the female, male, if you know Spanish, right? Spanish is similar. They have different endings for adjectives, right? Yeah, which makes it hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make it hard. Huh.
So in Tajikistan, where, not that I would know because much about, but like where in the country did you grow up? Like
north.
North Tajikistan.
North of Tajikistan. It's the size of Wisconsin, by the way.
Oh, okay.
About 9 million people, might be
Okay.
about 9 million people. So 93% mountains, 7% flat. That's where you find people.
Okay.
But there are a lot of people who live in the mountains too. But the mountains tend to be really high, so we restricted to the valleys.
Okay. Too hard to live on the mountains, I would imagine. Okay.
Cold and windy.
Yeah.
It's part of the Himalaya range.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
You have China in there, touching Tajikistan a little bit, Pakistan, and then Afghanistan,
Yeah.
the south.
Okay, Shane, do you want to start with food or gratitude? You got to pick.
I think food.
Food. All right. So Mahfuza, Thanksgiving is a very American holiday with certain kind of traditional foods here. Were there certain holiday foods that you ate? So you have like a normal diet, like any other country, where there's kind of your go-to foods. But were there certain holidays or festivals where there was a special dish or dessert or drinks that came along with it?
Central Asia is very famous by their plaf, oshi plaf.
Plaf.
It's like pilaf, rice pilaf.
Oh, okay.
But a little different. It's just carrots, onions, rice in it, lots of cumin, and lots of meat.
What kind of meat?
Beef.
Beef. Okay.
Yeah. So that's popular. So
Is that a year-round dish, or is that a seasonal or a holiday?
Oh, it's year-round, but wherever you go to a party or to any holiday, they definitely have plaf.
Plaf.
Yeah, plaf.
Okay.
Oh.
Also, the cuisine in Tajikistan is very much so influenced by Russian cuisine. So lots of potatoes and carrots, like pirashki in there, like dough stuff with potatoes or beef and meat in it. Olivier salad, Russians would know, like carrots and potatoes in it, cucumbers.
Is that like pierogi, the thing you said before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Dumplings.
heard- I think Piroshki?
Pirashki.
Yeah.
Pirashki.
Pierogi is another word for it.
American way of saying it.
Okay.
Could be.
There's a restaurant in downtown Seattle called Proshki, and I've always been meaning to try, but the line is always so long, so it must be good. It's always
It is always
like,
long.
out
I
the
haven't
door.
tried it
You
myself.
haven't tried? I was just going to
No.
ask if it's...
And it's unreasonably priced. It's expensive.
Sorry, Preshki French.
Yeah.
not an endorsement.
We're
for
just
you.
calling it like we see it here.
Okay.
Long line,
good.
overpriced.
Even we go to that folk festival, Seattle Center, you'll see their truck, and there's always long lines.
Yeah.
They might be good.
Okay.
You should try.
So what about desserts?
That's another thing. When I came to the U.S., I was surprised how
We
many.
had a lot of desserts.
A lot of desserts.
That's true.
Dessert back home, it's only for special occasions. So
And maybe something small and moderate.
and it was not good growing up. It's better now. They're learning like all kinds of cake, making all kinds of cakes, whatnot. But when we bought a cake, like a little bite of it was enough. It was too oily and too buttery, right? So it was no good. So the best desserts were fruit. Very sweet because of all the sun it gets. It's just like Eastern Washington over there. So you'll have really hot summers and cold winter.
Okay.
So watermelon, apples, or apricots, number one.
Ooh, I love apricots.
Everything, grapes, cherries, they're all so sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the United States?
Since 2009, December of 2009, so 2010.
Okay. So I'm assuming, or maybe I can just ask, have you tried many of the traditional Thanksgiving meal items around here?
Yes. So my husband his family is German,
Okay.
just like
Oh,
you
sure.
family. And they go about and beyond celebrating all the holidays. And Thanksgiving is our favorite, my favorite, and their favorite because my husband was born on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's a special
his mom
touch.
tells the story like she was pregnant and she ate too much turkey and there was no room for him, so he had to come out.
That's cute.
So he was born November 24th.
Okay.
So sometimes it falls on Thanksgiving, his birthday, sometimes not. But
So which American Thanksgiving items do you prefer, or maybe not prefer?
Turkey, definitely. I love turkey. I love making it myself. I love stuffing
really?
it. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get my turkey ready before everyone gets up. I used to do it with his parents. So now I do it. Now I host it. His mom used to host it for many years.
Yeah. Do you guys do a turkey, Shane, Brenda?
No. Well,
You've been married for like a week. What
exactly.
do you
It's just
know?
been Lauren and I. So like we just bought a rotisserie chicken last year. It was a lot easier.
Yeah.
What about you, Brenda? Do you do a turkey? Are you going to?
Yeah, we do. His family definitely is a turkey family traditional Thanksgiving meal. Growing up, we did not do turkey. It was ham, mashed potatoes, and we really didn't sit down for like a dinner. It was make it during the day and just kind of eat it because it's ready, and it wasn't like a formal Thanksgiving meal. So no turkey growing up, but turkey now.
Yeah, I've never carved a turkey. We've made it a few times. One time my little brother was visiting, and I was like, "Hey, you should carve the turkey." And so I just kind of delegated and went and played with the kids, and he was in there carving the turkey. And it's a lot of work. I see Charlotte, my wife, who when she makes it, she's laboring in there, and I've tried to make it clear the last couple of years. I don't need this. I know this is traditional kind of default, like, oh, it's Thanksgiving, you have a turkey. I'm like, if you want to make a turkey, great, but don't feel pressure from me or expectation, because it's a, well, you said you get up early, like 6 o'clock in the morning and start making.
Yeah, but I love it.
Well, see,
it tastes so good.
And you said the
gravy
stuffing.
with it.
Okay,
and,
gravy.
yeah.
Do you enjoy the cooking process too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now Sonia can help me. She's 5. Right?
Oh.
Okay.
It's just impressive to see a huge turkey.
Yeah.
Huge things like that.
giant bird.
I did not have growing up. The chickens were a little skinny,
Okay. Yeah.
organic.
Oh yeah.
All right, Brenda, what about, do you have a favorite side dish with Thanksgiving?
It is definitely a green bean casserole.
With the crunchy onions on top?
Yes, with the crunchy onions. And I've learned how to make it, and it's not hard. So it's one of those things that sometimes, especially this time of year, like I have the ingredients already at home. So if I'm feeling like, it's cold outside, I kind of want some comfort food. And that's so easy. You're just throwing green beans from a can, at least so I do it. And then the soup and milk and soy sauce, weirdly, is what it calls for, and then the crunchy onions, and then you top it with some more, and it's just throw it in the oven, and it's so good.
Do you use a normal dish, or do you have a fancy like stoneware designated green bean casserole dish. Yeah. Mahfuza's nodding over here. Do you have a special dish for it?
For casseroles?
Yeah.
Oh, we inherited very old grandma's dishes. China, that's what you call it, China.
Yeah.
And they're so beautiful. They have like golden plates around and all that. And we only use it for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's special. We do not have something that's special. It's just a glass Pyrex dish. Yep, just a normal rectangle dish.
Charlotte got a Pampered Chef. She went to a Pampered Chef party one time and bought this stoneware. I think it's only used for green bean casserole, or that's all we use it for. But it's a special occasion. This is a special dish for the special dish. Shane, what about you? Any favorite side dishes for Thanksgiving? Or main courses? I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say to eat, definitely just like honey ham. Like, just really enjoyed it for some reason. I think it's just sweet and I don't know. There's meat. I like meat, so it's really good. But to prepare, I've always loved creamed corn, or just the process of it.
That's weird.
Well, sorry.
Safe place.
Creamed corn.
It's just, I don't know. I had a good like first experience eating it. And I was like, this is really good. I'm gonna make it every Thanksgiving now. So I've just always enjoyed making creamed corn for some reason.
Yeah. We grew up, my mom used to make, she called it ambrosia, which I don't know if that's what other people call it. And it seemed like it was just a hodgepodge of ingredients. And it's a very American dish. It's so, rich, but it had like marshmallows and coconut and fruit and nuts.
Oh, we do that too. Yes.
And
walnuts. The coconut makes it really good.
So I haven't had that for years, but my mom used to make that, called it ambrosia. We loved it. And one time we were at a church potluck, and they've got all the different foods on this table, and they kind of sort them. There's the veggies and the potatoes and meat things, and they had the dessert sort of dishes, and they had this. Well, hey, William. They had this ambrosia, and so I took a big, scoop of it and took a big bite of it, and it turns out it was actually tuna salad that looked similar enough,
like
and I don't care for tuna, and so I was expecting coconut and marshmallow and fruit, and it was cat food, and so that's made me very nervous at church potlucks ever since.
I was hoping you were gonna say, then I loved tuna.
No, I spit it out in the trash can. So.
In fact, my mother-in-law made that last time she came. She brought some of that.
So good.
Yeah, dish or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Dessert.
I'm curious for your food for Thanksgiving now. Have you been able to kind of combine some of your Tajikistan elements with it?
Yes, good question. Yes. From the first day, they asked me like, "Can you make some Tajik side dish?" And I made salad, rainbow salad. I called it. Beets, dill pickles, corn, peas. You kind of arrange them so they look like a rainbow. They separate, and then carrot salad in part of it, cabbage in there, and then you put mayo in the middle, and then when you're ready to eat it, you mix it all up, and it's delicious. And I remember people saying beets with dill pickles. They weren't sure about it, but then when they tried it, it's so good.
Okay.
Just a bunch of things together. Yeah, mayo makes it taste good.
That sounds really good. I don't actually want to try that.
My in-laws ask me to make that all the time. Yeah.
You call it rainbow salad?
Yeah, and just looks beautiful on the table too.
And then you mix it together.
Yep.
Oh.
When you're ready, yeah.
Wow.
I know you just said it in passing, but I liked how you talked about the China a minute ago for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Did you say? Well, just there's something really special about, sometimes we use the word sacred, of like set aside or set apart for special use. And I know some people, Beth and Steve, friends of ours, who use their china all the time, and it's great, and they have this nice dish, and so they use it regularly. But there's also something special about recognizing this meal or this occasion is different.
Special, yeah.
Yeah.
And thinking about the person who gave it to your grandma, great grandma.
And you said, was that your?
Oh, my husband's.
Or your husband's, okay.
My husband's grandma. Yeah. She lived up to 100.
Oh my goodness.
Years old, yeah. Grandma Minnie. they called it. She used to make everything from scratch. Her own range, her own butter.
That's awesome.
Well, apart from the food, do you have any other Thanksgiving traditions, things that happen during the day or the week around that occasion?
Yes. As a runners, there's a Seattle Marathon, right? On the Thanksgiving weekend. Or any Thanksgiving runs.
Yeah,
That's
we do a
what
turkey
do.
trot.
Yeah, turkey trot.
We do one of those every
Yeah.
year as a family too.
But for the last few years, it seems like we've been hurt. Husband is hurt, or I'm hurt, so we're not doing a run this year. But we are volunteering.
Okay.
So we signed up to volunteer. We have done that multiple times on the water stations for Seattle Marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kids love it. Sonia loves it. She'd be holding on the cup, and the runner will come and get it, and they like thank her, and she gets all happy. Yeah, recommend with young kids.
I love it. So I used to do Ironman triathlons before I did marathons and ultra marathons, and that's how I got into it. I just volunteered at the aid station, and it's so much fun. It was so inspired, and I asked my wife,
help.
I said, "Do you think I could do this?" And she said, "No." But that's your husband was born on Thanksgiving, you said, because his mom ate too much turkey. My firstborn was born the day after the Ironman triathlon because Charlotte was very pregnant, and we said, okay, you're not going to volunteer this year. You're too pregnant to stay off your feet. But she came to check on me to make sure I was doing okay because I was volunteering. And then she stayed for 4 hours handing out water and Gatorade, and then her water broke. So then we had to go to the hospital.
During the
right as soon as we got home from it. And so she was just covered in Gatorade and was sticky and sweaty and gross, and more or less went to the hospital in tears saying, this isn't how I wanted to go to the hospital to have my baby. Like, just feeling so uncomfortable.
What a great story, though.
Say that sounds like Charlotte to show up, and then even though she shouldn't be, to stay and volunteer for 4 hours. That sounds like her.
Yeah. Shane, do you guys have any Thanksgiving Day traditions?
Not yet. I think
like growing up. How about that?
Oh, okay. I guess with family, we'd always travel down to I guess our normal routine would be traveling to Kansas City. I would family there from Wisconsin to Kansas City. I'm from Wisconsin too. So, from Wisconsin to Kansas City, see our relatives there, and that would kind of be our annual Thanksgiving trip to go down there. And I don't know, the big thing that stands out just for me was just seeing family. Was more or less the tradition. I mean, we'd have the normal foods of, turkey stuffing and casserole, sweet potato, whatnot. And so, like,
cranberries?
I hate cranberries. I can drink it, but I can't eat it.
All right, Mahfuza cranberry sauce?
Yeah, my father-in-law, he has to make that all the time.
He makes it with that comes out of the can or the actual?
No,
okay.
He makes the actual thing.
I like the can. Like this, it still has the ridge lines from the can, and I think I liked it because growing up, our turkey was really dry usually, and so the cranberry would help resuscitate it and bring it back to life and add some interest back into the dry turkey. Sorry, Mom.
And I don't have strong opinions, but I think I'd rather not. I'm not a huge cranberry
We've got
person,
similar taste buds.
Yeah, like it's okay if it's there, but I'm probably not reaching for it.
Okay. What about pickles? You mentioned dill pickles in your salad.
And the salad, yeah.
What about sweet pickles? Have you had those? The little guys they're real.
I think I had, yeah.
Like the size of your thumb. They're real sweet.
Maybe once.
I don't think of pickles when I think of Thanksgiving.
We always had sweet pickles growing up. And I don't think I've had sweet pickles since. My kids love olives. I don't really care for olives, but my kid's Titus will put as many on his fingers as he can. And,
that's fine.
And then he's gross. And then he smells the rest of the day like olives. So we try to cuddle. I'm like, go wash your hands if you want to cuddle. I love you, but too close. We watch football. It's just on, at least. I don't know whether we watch it or not. It's typically on in the background.
Yeah. Well, I guess being from Wisconsin, if Packers were playing, we had to watch the Packers play. Yeah, that was part of tradition.
Yeah, Brenda, what about you? Either growing up or as a newlywed, family traditions around Thanksgiving?
Growing up, like I said, Thanksgiving was not our biggest holiday, so we didn't do a whole lot for it. I actually have a memory when I was younger, we weren't having Thanksgiving dinner at home. We had gone out with, I think, coworkers of my mom's or something. And I remember at school, they had been telling us to all share something that we're thankful for. And so I'm watching everybody get their food, looking around like, what are they doing? They haven't said what they're thankful for yet. So I said, hold on, all of these adults. What's something that you're thankful for? Everybody go around in a circle. And they all just looked at me because they were not used to doing that. But they all had to say something they were thankful for that year before we did it. But now my mother-in-law has this tablecloth. And every year we take a different colored Sharpie and we write down our name on the tablecloth. And afterwards she washes it and then stitches it. So she goes over it with a certain color thread for that year, so that every year you can look back and see who was there at the table the year before, a few years before. And she just started this a few years ago, and it's really cool. It's really fun to find your name from the year before, and we're realizing, we need to start writing smaller because we're going to take over this whole tablecloth. But
You said your grandma?
no, my mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law, okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
and
that's beautiful.
I mean, it is, and parts of it are sad too, because you'll start to see names of people that have passed, and you're like, oh, that was the last Thanksgiving that we had with so and so. But I really think it's a cool tradition. So she started that a few years ago, and I'm sure it'll be on the table this year again. Yeah.
I really like that.
Does she
Me too.
hand stitch?
She does. She's super crafty. She
Just your name, or like the whole sentence, whatever you write?
no, we just do our names, and I think we've done like the year, like maybe we'll write 2022 or whatever year it is. Yeah.
Neat. Mahfuza, besides food, are there any traditions that you either growing up, or I know Thanksgiving wasn't part of your growing up, but what about now? Do you have family traditions around Thanksgiving? Any activities or?
Besides that, volunteering.
That
Run.
going turkey trot and in that
Because
water.
we can't run. I used to run it. I ran when it was 50th anniversary of the Seattle.
Oh, neat.
I did Seattle half. As a teacher that week, this some reason real funny. I'll print out the cards that you can color, and high school kids, they love it. They grab handful, they color it, they give it to their teachers, and they also bring home. So. And then I also bring one home, and we make a card for my husband because it's his birthday, right?
Yeah.
We have to have a cake too, besides the pumpkin pie and all that. We have to have a cake because it's husband's
birthday.
birthday.
Birthday, yeah, birthday cake. You don't put candles in the pumpkin pie.
Yeah, it has to be chocolate cake.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the birthday present. So.
Does he like having his birthday on Thanksgiving? Some people, if their birthday is on Christmas, they're like, oh man, I'm getting my Christmas gift, but Christmas overshadows my birthday. How does he feel about it being on a holiday?
Yeah, we never talked about it, but I think he's okay with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He probably likes it. Then you get the family involved too, right? Other people that you don't usually see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm a big fan of pumpkin pie, and I go with about a 1-to-1 ratio of whipped cream to pumpkin pie. I like a lot of whipped cream on it.
Me too.
My grandma Weber used to bring pies every Thanksgiving, and they had about an acre yard that they gardened and farmed the whole thing. And she, made every pie by hand, but from scratch, just things from their garden. And she'd usually bring 3 or 4, and it was. We didn't necessarily fight on Thanksgiving, but fighting over pie was the closest we got to it. She'd make lemon meringue and an apple pie, and we had gooseberry. Was a kind of a green, almost bitter, very tart berry. But that was Thanksgiving growing up, was Grandma Weber's homemade pies.
Wow.
We didn't have chocolate cake. We had fruit pies.
Did you have any other kind of like standout traditions, or this it's not complete without this, or with this food? Or
yeah, so I like a lot of the food. So green bean casserole. My sister-in-law makes this just great hash brown casserole that's just swimming in cheese and probably cream cheese or sour cream.
Oh, sour cream.
Yeah.
Say more
I think
about
it's
this
sour
hash
cream.
brown thing.
I know, it sounds really good.
Really
This like potato hash brown. I don't like potatoes, by the way. I don't care for mashed potatoes or baked potatoes or gravy. I got problems. But she brings this cheese infused, I think it's sour cream or maybe cream cheese or maybe both. It's just so rich, and I eat myself into a stupor. So that's a recent tradition. But I think since we've been married, or certainly since we've had kids, Brenda, you mentioned kind of going around the table and saying something we're thankful for. We'll do that for quite a while. Not till we run out of steam, because I think what I've learned is you almost never run out of things to be thankful for. And so it's a sincere exercise. We're not trying to make a point, but I think we sort of stop once we've made the point where we're like, oh my gosh, we're all just overwhelmed with so many things. And so that's one of the things. We'll go around and you can't repeat something that somebody else said. And so, and it's big things like family, and it's little things like my pillow is really soft, or I love my jammies, or my favorite mug from a coffee. And so we'll spend a lot of time going round and round. I make it sound like it's this beautiful Norman Rockwell painting. We also spill and cry and, maybe not yell at each other, but it's certainly tense. And that's an unofficial tradition, is all the kids at the table, you're spilling things. Because we've got taller glasses than we're used to, the little wine glasses that have the sparkling cider for the kids, and they want the thing over there, and they're clumsy. And so a lot of spilling. That's part of an unofficial tradition that I could do without.
A tarp under the table and just ball it up and throw it away when you're done.
Yeah. So we get out nicer dishes. We sit at the dining room table instead of the kitchen table. Usually I think my in-laws will bring little name cards. It's just us. Like, it's my family, like the 5 of us plus my in-laws and my sister-in-law. So my parents-in-law and sister-in-law. So there's 8 of us at the table. We all get together all the time. But at Thanksgiving, we have name tags. Oh. So we, like assigned seating.
Right. Who prepares that?
I think it's my mother-in-law usually.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know why. I should ask her why. But it's just a little tradition. And nice china. And they'll usually sprinkle some kind of decorations around the table. It could be those little plastic confetti cutouts, or maybe they'll make a centerpiece of some sort.
Yeah.
I keep saying they because I'm watching football, playing with the kids, staying out of the way.
Yeah.
Something about making the table extra special, though. Right. Like, you don't need to. And like you're saying, if it's just your immediate family, like, you really don't need to. But you're saying this is an extra special day. Like, we're really wanting to remember this and to put that little extra touch. So, yeah, makes it different than all the other days.
Brenda, I was going to ask you, what, before you and Adam got married, what was your kind of traditional Thanksgiving? Because your family, Mexican heritage. And so what was that like? Yeah.
Like I said, not huge on Thanksgiving. So we wouldn't make turkey. We would make ham. So there's always ham with the pineapple rings on top. So then when you're slicing into it, you have a bit of pineapple, mashed potatoes and gravy, and rolls. So that was pretty much it. But there wasn't, hey, we're all sitting down for a meal. And that's something I wish we did more, was sitting down all together to eat together. But a lot of times it was, there's food made, everybody just come and grab when you're hungry. Not just Thanksgiving, but any day.
And was it just most of the time just your immediate family?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Just immediate family. We weren't getting together with everybody. Christmas was a different story. Then you get together with extended family, and then you're cooking meals together and doing a whole thing. But not so much for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So Brenda, as we're looking ahead to our International Thanksgiving, Friday the 18th, 5:30 to 7, what are you hoping for?
I am really hoping, one, that there are people that bring dishes so that we can have this International Thanksgiving. But I'm also hoping that that hour and a half feels longer, that there's conversations, that people are stopping at the different tables, and you're not even looking at the time, and it just, you meet somebody new, you get to try some new food, and walk away thinking or knowing like, oh, I met that person and I learned something about them. I learned where they're from, or I learned something that they really enjoy to do as a family. So I guess conversations. I'm really hoping that happens, that there's a lot of sharing, not just of food, but that there's sharing of words there.
Maybe I can convince my sister-in-law to make her hash brown.
Yeah, please.
Casserole. It has nothing to do with international or or our family heritage, but it's really good and we could share.
Absolutely. I've had people come up to me and say, you know, I saw that you've got signups for this International Thanksgiving, but I mean, we don't really do anything special. We just do traditional turkey mashed potatoes. And I said, that's fine. That's part of international. It can be anything, any kind of food.
Yeah, just bring your.
Yep,
bring it.
absolutely.
Yeah, we might need a map.
Ooh.
To highlight where people are from.
Yes.
Because as you said, you know, I have an idea of where some of the stands are, but I can't picture right now very well.
I couldn't pinpoint it on a map if the words weren't on there. So I like that idea. We could have a map out there.
I like a real map or map of tables with like each country.
Ooh, there you
That
go.
too.
Just kind of the region.
The recipe or maybe
Ooh.
or what kind of food and what's in it.
Okay.
Would that be? Do you have the name tags for each?
We will.
You
How
have to,
about
right?
you help me plan it? We still have 4 weeks left.
Yes. Can I?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love that.
I'm so excited. I will say this. I'll confess. This is more of a confession than anything else. I'm very hesitant to eat foods I'm not familiar with. Some people, I think, very naturally just like, well, let's just try this thing I've never seen or
That's
heard
me.
of. Yeah.
Eat anything.
I think I grew up eating a very limited menu just over and over again. I didn't have guacamole till I was in my 30s. Like we had a taco bar every single week. We had sour cream. I had all the ingredients, but we just never had guac. That wasn't the thing in Missouri, at least in my life. And so I saw people eating it in college and think that's a green paste. That was weird to me. And now I willingly pay the $4 extra at Chipotle to get a little cup of it.
Chipotle.
So that's out of the comfort zone for me. And I don't know why. I think I'm probably somewhat particular in my palate as well. But so this will be a stretch for me at times to try things I haven't tried before. I think knowing people helps.
Yeah.
Like if I know you and you prepared
try
it.
my dish.
Yeah. Well, and maybe there's guilt or pressure, but I think I'm more likely to. But if I didn't know who made it, it was just somebody else's, like, I don't know.
Like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'll taste like. Is it going to be spicy? Is it going to be, sour?
So I'm more hesitant than I wish I was when it came to trying new foods.
Yeah. I love food in general. I think it also because I growing up when Soviet Union collapsed, there was civil war in all the Istans.
Yeah.
And the food was somewhat scarce.
Yeah.
We had to stay in line for bread, the loaf of bread, a little bit per person. I don't remember, but I just remember staying in line for a loaf of bread.
Wow.
I have all the food I want now, but maybe that makes me, free food, yay.
Yeah. And just that recognition of gratitude there of my kids have never missed a meal.
Right.
They've always opened the fridge and there's more than we could eat in there. And to have a perspective to say, I remember standing in line for bread makes Thanksgiving a little bit different when there's this literal cornucopia bounty overflowing. The table can't hold it all.
That's right.
And
You
you have to bring in other
table.
tables. Yeah, you're bringing in other tables to hold all the food that you're going to be eating for days afterwards. Yeah. Mahfuza, you can say no, but I'm curious if you'd be willing to put you on the spot. You said you've never tried candy corn. Special shout out to Julie, one of our listeners, on a previous episode. We were talking about candy that we like or don't like. And Shane and one of our guests did not care for candy corn. And myself and another guest very much like candy corn. So it's a divisive thing, which is my nice way of saying I won't be offended if you need to spit it out.
Okay.
But the standard one is the yellow. If you like a little chocolate instead, you could try a brown one on the bottom.
I'll go with your
All
standard
right. So Mahfuza's going to try her first candy corn and then give us a live reaction.
Oh, it smells good.
Yep, she's smelling it first.
Vanilla.
I will say I've never seen it with the chocolate, so that was new
Yeah.
to see
It's like
that.
frosting.
Tastes like
Just
frosting.
like frosting, yeah.
Yeah.
Like just hard frosting.
We don't give her adjectives. She can describe how she wants to describe it.
Okay.
You could say delicious frosting if you wanted.
It is. It's very delicious.
All right.
I love it.
Okay.
Can I try the chocolate?
Have the chocolate one.
Wow.
And there's pumpkins in there. If you dig around, they're like just bigger. I think
Yeah,
it's the
I
same.
see it. No, I haven't. Good now.
So you can take a fistful if you want on the way out. So far, I've offered it to every staff member at St. Luke's, and no one has taken me up on it.
I like the standard one.
Yeah, not the chocolate? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's
Standard
allowed.
one, the vanilla is better. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's conclusive.
Very cool.
Candy corn's amazing. We did
Well,
it. We solved it. International Thanksgiving. Check.
Just candy corn.
It's in the books. We did it. Mahfuza, I feel like I probably interrupted you many times today. Is there anything you were hoping to share about culture, food, or gratitude before we wrap up here today?
With Thanksgiving, gratitude, right? So happy I have a son now for 4 months, almost 5 months. So that would be, if we go around the table in Thanksgiving, that would be one thing I would say. Happy for, grateful for a happy and healthy child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is growing fast, almost 20 pounds, wearing 6 months clothes.
He's sleeping now.
Yeah, that's very good.
You did it, Brenda. You did it. We could all whisper.
He loves people talking, and that puts him to So, yeah, and I have very healthy daughter too, 5 years old. I'm happy with kindergarten arrangement that we have here. I just went yesterday to tour a school, public school. So that's pretty much in my mind right now. What's next for her? Where should she go to school?
Right.
Because this early years of education is very important.
Yeah.
And I'll be returning to work next year. So grateful I can take a year off and just be with William.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Mahfuza.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for our time that we've had today together. I've seen you in passing in the lobby or the parking lot, but to hear a bit about your story and your heritage and your diet and your running activity. We'll talk more when the kids get older. I'm a volunteer coach with a running club in town for
cool.
kids. So
Nice.
and we've got 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds up through high school.
Okay.
So
Let's talk more.
that'd be an off-air
Sonia
conversation.
loves running too.
All right. And she can try her first piece of candy corn later today as well. Shane, any final thoughts as we wrap up today?
No, but I also it's very nice, just a sweet way to end, just saying like what we're grateful for.
Yeah, you want to share something, Shane?
Yeah, it just made me think like, oh, we're talking about Thanksgiving and doing that anyway. So like, just like, I don't know. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be able to talk to you and meet you. And it's awesome just to learn about Tajikistan. Like I don't know where else I would like really learn about it, but then just firsthand. So it's really cool, and just I don't know, thankful for the opportunity to have this like the podcast too, just to be able to have these conversations and to share them with people. Like it's so cool.
Yeah. Brenda, what about you? Anything standing out right now for gratitude?
Yeah, I'm really grateful for this space. These two guys always joke about that this podcast was an idea that they took too far, and now they've just run with it. But I'm really glad that you took it too far, because we get to have these conversations. So I'm grateful for this space.
Yeah. I usually think pretty small when I think about gratitude. Like I often will say I'm thankful for coffee or my bed, because I think we overlook those things. But sometimes I'm a little bit too slow to acknowledge some of the bigger, weightier things in life too. But just to piggyback on all these things, friends and conversation. So yesterday, I had lunch with a pastor friend up in Seattle, Brad, and we talked for probably 2 hours, and it was like this. It was very casual. It was real. We didn't have to pretend. We could share what was hard. We could kind of explore things without trying to win an argument or even find an answer, just sort of navigating life together. That's really refreshing to me, which is the goal of the podcast. So here at 2414, that's our goal, is to have real conversation about real life. And we hope that this conversation with the four of us at the table has been encouraging, maybe entertaining, but our really big hope is that it prompts more conversation So maybe there are other moms or dads at the school who might hear this and say, I didn't know that about you. Or church members or community members or people who just found us online. You can send an email and keep a conversation going with us here or say hi on a Sunday morning. But we want people to have normal conversations. So if somebody listening to this today asks a coworker or a spouse or a friend or a neighbor, hey, what do you like about Thanksgiving? That's our goal, is to help people connect in real life ways. So thanks, Mahfuza, for joining us today. Thanks for William for being a relatively quiet participant. For Brenda for being a great caretaker over there. Special thanks to Shane for all his editing work and technology wizardry he does behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to catching y'all in a week or so.
Yeah.
Adios.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's the end of the episode, but we want to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation by sharing this episode, subscribing, or leaving a review. Connect with us on Instagram at 2414podcast. Connect with us through email at 2414@stlukes-church.com. Or best of all, keep the conversation going by inviting someone to process with you so that you can each walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. If you happen to be in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington, stop by on a Sunday morning and say hi. 2414 is a podcast produced by St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington. To find more content, discover upcoming opportunities to connect in person, or to support the show, head on over to stlukes-church.com. Thanks for walking with us.